Why don't billionaires do more cool stuff? They do sometimes. Quite a few museums and arts programs buildings are primarily funded from wealthy donors, such as most major orchestras. Paul Allen, one of the founders of Microsoft, built a private yacht that was equipped with state-of-the-art scientific equipment and remote-operated submarines to explore the seafloor, and donated its use to many science projects, search and rescue missions, and locating many historical shipwrecks. There are several other research ships funded by billionaires. A lot of private missions to the Titanic that recovered many artifacts and even a part of the ship were privately funded by billionaires, although it's a little controversial. James Cameron famously funded the deepest manned submarine, which did a lot of science research. While my criticism is that many of these projects have quite a bit of vanity in that they're trying to break world records and such, but many billionaires do legitimately make significant contributions to science and public work projects. I don't think that makes billionaires ethical or heroes by any stretch, and they could certainly do a lot more, and a lot more that helps the average person. I've met like 2 or 3 billionaires. They all were doing things they thought were cool. But their idea of cool isn't necessarily the same as your idea of cool. And most of the stuff they do doesn't get much publicity at all. What are you talking about? Didn't Elon Musk send a car to space? Didn't Jeff Bezos fly himself and his buddies to space as well in a private rocket? Didn't one guy make an Xbox controller-guided submarine last summer that killed an entire family? Doesn't Bill Gates and his ex-wife donate billions every year to charity? Red man. Because those things cost massive amounts of money with little to no returns. The goal of a billionaire is to stay a billionaire, not spend all their money. Their version of fun is not your version of fun. Some have the guinea worm eradication, the Nobel Prizes, personal computers, civilian space programs that are pennies on the dollar efficient compared to government programs. Are all arguably cool. But most people who are rich have little time to go after things outside their job when they are busy working on the company that made them rich, and they might need to have a significant amount of stock to do their job the way they want. A lot are only billionaires on paper. E.g. Bezos' main wealth is in Amazon stock. This is not cash. If he sells some to get billions in the bank, the share price of Amazon would crumble overnight. Same would happen if they kept selling a few $million every month. Investors would know there were a steady flow of shares coming onto the market. Yusuo Naito. Some do but many don't, or more like you don't hear about it. Charles Feeney, the guy who created the duty-free shops in the airport, became a billionaire, dies pretty much with no money because he donated it all. They don't have billions in liquid cash to just throw around. Because cool people don't get to be billionaires. To be a billionaire you have to be obsessed with money. $1 billion is a ludicrous amount of money. More than enough for 100 lifetimes. The only way you make that much is if get more money is the only thought in your brain for 50 years. Like going to see the Titanic? 2 of the biggest space programs are funded by billionaires. One of the biggest medical and humanitarian aid efforts is funded by another. A lot of wealth is in assets. Real money to burn is limited. Open to the public for free. I rest my case. Well, some of them did do the cool thing of funding themselves becoming astronauts. You can't blow it all on cool stuff. Plus they coupled this with finding a way to make money off of that venture. If you're a billionaire you don't have $1 billion liquid. A lot of that billion is other people's money and confidence in you. Look, I'm all for jumping on billionaires. They should absolutely be doing more. However, this one is not too hard to understand. Billionaires in general are self-absorbed in their own lives, like the rest of us, only more so. Most people reading this can probably afford to spend $40 a week, buy a bunch of fast food and go down to the local park once a week to pass out chicken sandwiches. Why don't you? You can afford it, so why not? I'd argue because most of us are involved in things that are more pressing, interesting or seemingly necessary to our interests. Scale it up by several orders of magnitude and you have billionaires, no different from the rest of us, just more egregious because of the scale. Which is why it's so damn important to tax billionaires at a fair rate, because you can't depend on humans at scale to voluntarily help in the way they are capable of given their means. They are probably doing whatever they want to be doing, so maybe it's cool for them. What's thylacine, and why are we looking for it? Did we lose it at some point? I think this post has become a circle jerk, but they do? Who do you think is funding charities? School endowments? Crazy startup ideas? If you want to learn about these, go listen to a podcast where they promote it. Happens all the time. What is the incentive for these PPL to tell you if they do cool and crazy sh*t? The last guy who did died and half the world laughed at it.